Okay, now that we've established whether or not your camera can shoot in the RAW format, let's talk about how Adobe is attempting to unify the proprietary RAW format in this new DNG, or digital negative formatting for files. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to close this document here on my screen. I did that by hitting Command W on the Mac, Control W on the PC. And I've also got open right behind it this PDF from Adobe's website that explains the digital negative specifications and exactly what the digital negative format is. This is also located in your project files folder under dng.pdf. So go ahead and open that up now and follow along with me as we talk a little bit about exactly what DNG is and how it can benefit you in the future when you're working with your digital files. So I'm going to cycle through here and just get to the basic introduction of the DNG format. And once I get here, we're going to just take a little bit of time to go through here and see exactly why you would want to convert your RAW files into the DNG format. And the first of which is because Adobe has guaranteed that they're going to continue to support the RAW format of DNG forever. They say that they're going to support DNG for the remainder of the time that you're able to shoot RAW on digital cameras. So whether or not Nikon or Canon or Fuji or whoever it is supports their own proprietary RAW format is pretty much not even going to be an issue, simply because if you convert your files to this new digital negative format, you'll be able to maintain the editability and the ability to open them in future versions of Camera Raw and or Photoshop, because Adobe is going to continue to support this file for the foreseeable future, so you shouldn't have any compatibility issues there. You also have some other advantages, such as increased artistic control for the end user, simply because with the DNG format you have the ability to edit certain parameters that you don't have the ability to edit in the standardized format that's automatically achieved by your camera. So you have better control over the white balance, tonal mapping, noise reduction, sharpening, and many other factors, and it's going to help you achieve that desired look on your photographs that's much, much better. Also, one of the greatest things about this is the fact that once everybody conforms to this new standard, then they're going to be able to develop more proprietary functions for Camera Raw. Because right now, Camera Raw is a little bit limited simply because of the fact that everybody has their own certain way of collecting raw data from a camera, and that limits the way that Adobe can actually help to manipulate that data. So if everybody converts to this single standard format, then Adobe can focus more on not so much supporting other formats, but for enhancing the way it works with that one single format. So now that we've got a little bit of an understanding of exactly why you would want to convert into the new DNG or digital negative file format, let's actually see how we can implement this on some of our own RAW files. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get out of this document here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to actually get into Photoshop's DNG converter, which is a free external application that you can download from their website. Go to adobe.com and just simply search for DNG, and you should be able to navigate right to the page where you can download the free DNG converter and also download the newest version of Camera Raw in case you haven't already done so, just so you can have the ability to utilize the newest features of Camera Raw and also to have the maximum compatibility for your specific camera. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch the DNG converter by coming down here to my dock and just clicking on the icon here. And this is Adobe's free digital negative converter, and what it allows you to do is take your Camera Raw files, your .cr2 files or your .nef files, whichever kind of specific Camera Raw file you have, and convert it into Adobe's digital negative format. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to select a folder, and inside of your Chapter 3 project files folder there should be a folder that says DNG conversion. Go ahead and select that folder and then click select like so, and that way you have all of the files in there selected. There's 2 Camera Raw files in there, both of which are CR2s. Now what you need to do after you have that folder of images selected is come down here to select the location to save your converted images. So I'll just say save in same location. Or if you wanted to, you could actually go in there and select a new folder or even create a new folder to put them in, but I'll just go ahead and save them in the same location. Now I also have the ability to select a name for the converted images, so in this case the document name, it's just going to take the original name of the document and then attach that to the .dng file extension and then save it with the same exact names. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to leave that alone. You could add in a custom file name if you wanted to. You could also add in a second part to that, maybe a sequence number or something like that. Now you can also come down here and change your preferences for this particular DNG file. For instance, if you wanted to change the JPEG preview size, which I'll go ahead and select full size for these, you can say compressed, and by the way, this is a lossless compression, meaning you're not going to lose any type of image information when you compress these. And you lose a lot when you compress with JPEG compression and things like that. So this is a complete lossless compression, so you have nothing to worry about there. You can also choose the image conversion method, whether you preserve the raw image or convert to a linear image. I'm going to choose to preserve the raw image because I don't want to mess with that original camera data that I originally had when I shot this photograph. Now, the last option down here is probably one of the most important when you convert to DNG, in my opinion, and one of the things that I think you should always practice when you convert to DNG. This is the option to embed the original raw file within the new DNG file. I want you to go ahead and turn this on when you convert to DNG, simply because it embeds the entire non-DNG raw file inside of this DNG file. And it will give you a warning here that says it creates a larger DNG file, but it also says that it allows the original file to be extracted later if needed. And what that means is if for some reason you need to get back to that original .cr2 file or that original .nef file after you converted it to DNG, it will always be located within that newly converted DNG file. So you don't have to worry about saving that copy of that .cr2 or that .nef, because this will automatically embed it inside of this new DNG file. So I want you to go ahead and always remember to check this checkbox, simply because it's a better practice. You will get a little bit larger file, but in the end it's going to save you a whole lot of time when you need to go back and get those old archive files. So once you have that checked on in that checkbox, go ahead and then click OK, and now you're back inside of the regular DNG converter dialog box. Now you're ready to go ahead and say convert, or if you were trying to extract a specific CR2 file or NEF file, whichever one you were looking for, you could actually come over here and click the extract button, which would allow you to go through the process of extracting those images from those DNG files. So just remember to launch the DNG converter and then use the extract method if you ever need to extract those previous files. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click convert, and it's going to go through here and it's going to start converting these. It's going to process them, and then it's going to go through and it'll let me know exactly when those are converted, and then I'll have the ability to say OK. And now once I've done that, I can minimize this. I'll go into my project files folder, I'll select chapter 3, and inside the DNG conversion folder, now I have these two brand new DNG files, which I can then open up into Adobe's Camera Raw and continue to edit at any time I needed to. So this is just how to basically get your files into the new DNG standard format, and also how to make sure that you preserve the editing capabilities of those original .cr2s, .nefs, and all of the other proprietary formats inside of the new DNG file.